They started 2-3 and then turned it around, went 8-5, including a Las Vegas Bowl win. Terps kicking off, Cats to touch it first, and off we go from College Park. And the ball came out on the opening kickoff, and Northwestern is back on top of it. He's coming off his best passing game of his young career, and his first pass tonight is low and incomplete to A.J. Henning. Porter just 6 carries last week, but is expected to be full go tonight. Flag comes out to be against Northwestern.
It's going to be Thomas Gordon flinching.
False start. Offense, number 87.
Brown is now wearing number 9. He's usually number 19 for Maryland. That's a permanent change. The Terps fans wondering who that is. Henning with a shoestring catch out to the edge, and he somersaults ahead. He was down at that first spot. That's 3rd down and long coming up. 3rd down. Jack Lausch running away. And he is outside, but has to bench it. Because Jack Olson, their normal place kicker, injured, not on the trip. Oh, and that was almost blocked. Well, Maryland touching for the first time, and Ricardo Cooper.
And he is, and certainly statistically right now, it's that win column where he needs to keep getting it done. A ton of weapons, including this man.
Roman Hemby gets the first carry of the night, and Ty Felton, both healthy off of the bye week, ready to go. And a target for Prather, and off his hands, incomplete. Prather goes up to the line of scrimmage. Preston Howard flipping sides on 3rd down. Pump into the flat. Pocket closed, and Edwards is swung down. Theron Johnson is cornerback.
He sleeps with his teeth clenched.
It is a high-energy 15 to 20 minutes whenever we get to spend time with Tim McGargle, the defensive coordinator. Northwestern in contact on the return man, and A.J. Henning draws the flag with Ty Felton.
They've again turned it over, forced turnovers at a historic rate, not so much on the other side of it.
They forced a punt on the opening drive for Northwestern. Now the race car that is Jack Lausch at quarterback. Wild, wasn't it? They go 4-0 in turnovers.
Crazy.
In the positive against Indiana and lose the game.
That is so hard to do. Northwestern a little bit late there getting lined up. They're trying to get an unbalanced look. Unbalanced, tight end on the ball up top.
Lausch looked right, then left. Flag comes out, and he throws to the sideline, incomplete. Looking for Kurtz. And Kevis Thomas in coverage. Now we'll check on the marker.
From the 39.
Offside. Defense, number 7. Lined up in the neutral zone.
So it makes it a 2nd down and shorter, and Cam Porter ahead with a 1st down for Northwestern. Fake to Porter. Pressure gets to him. Lausch goes down. It's a half a sack. Both guys get up and celebrate.
Yeah, oh, no doubt about it.
2nd and long. Lausch around the pocket. And he floats in middle of the field. It's caught. A.J. Henning behind that secondary for Maryland with a big play.
Hyman and Bryce Kurtz. They say actually Bryce Kurtz is on the radar, the fastest guy.
On 1st down, it's Porter. Yeah, that was surprising, right? Because Hyman and
we both asked about Hyman.
Yeah. It's Porter stuttering the feet, and he's snowed under. Last week against Indiana, Jack Bailey out injured. On 3rd down, Lausch escapes, pointing downfield. He makes a run for it and plunges to the end zone. Touchdown, Jack Lausch.
Huge confidence boost to that young man.
Somebody's getting out with their first Big Ten win. 0-2 starts both ways. Lausch from 9 yards out. Starting the night on the scoreboard.
0 for 1 and the sack.
3 and out on their first drive. And this drive starts with Hemby. And Theron Johnson is in and run support.
Northwestern fans will be very happy to see him play every down.
On 2nd down, Hemby with a seam up the middle before he takes Uline for a ride for a 1st down.
Makes them drop into coverage. A lot of draw success against this defense.
3 straight carries for Hemby. Uline almost got there, and his teammates helped him out and did get there. Bastone back in there this week. Nolan Ray into the game for Maryland, and that is caught. Two backs back there. Out of the belly of Nolan Ray. And a nice juke, and then Uline is there to get Edwards. Outside of Felton and Prather, they're two top guys. Edwards, another quarterback run, another. Third down. And Hemby is stuffed at the line, but he was there for a first down. Got the 2 yards he needed, just barely.
Yeah, exactly. Just the nose of the ball across that line to gain. Mike Loxley liking that and going fast. Nice cut back. Good physical finish by that Northwestern crew.
Working quickly and throwing quickly. Caden Prather. Ty Felton downfield. And that is chopped down in the backfield. Jalen Pate.
In the stat book, but his teammates will love it.
10th play of the drive. Third down. Pressure up the middle. Edwards got it away.
Analysts, I think he is Jeff Kopp, was a player for us at Boise State 100 years ago, then a GA for us at Arizona State. And he brought up the words Terrell Suggs. Comparing, yeah, which is
Long field for Jack Lausch in the Northwestern offense, leading 7-0. And bumping into one of his own linemen. Hyman is swung out of bounds. And went for a loss of 3.
not usually good.
Not usually. On 2nd and long, Bryce turns for the first time, and he has all that yardage back and then some. After he went for 100+ yards last week. On first down, out to Cuppy.
Number 6, Hyman.
And a flag out, back-to-back targets for Cuppy. That's broken up.
Offense. More important players in the backfield that snapped.
An offensive lineman right here. All 5 offensive linemen. 2 wideouts. They're leader.
Hyman snuck out of a near tackle for a loss.
Lined over the left offensive guard as we look at it right now.
3rd down. Lausch protected. He bails out. A dangerous runner has the first down. 7-0 Wildcats with the ball to start the 2nd quarter. And it begins with Caleb Komolafe. Running all over the park in that 1st quarter. Ran for a touchdown. He's on the run here. And they're waiting for him on that Maryland front with Dylan Fontes. This is where Lausch has been dangerous with his legs on 3rd down. Rush is coming. He's protected. Taking a shot. Kurtz reels it in at the edge of his fingertips. 3rd down conversion, setting up 1st and goal.
Just a beautiful throw. Straight up man coverage. Perry Fisher jumping on the outside shoulder. That is a difficult throw. Just great execution.
2nd deep ball he's hit on tonight. And Komolafe through the tackle of the King Basote.
Vanna White being winded with all those vowels.
Cam Porter takes the direct snap, and he powers ahead, and he is in for the touchdown. Lausch got out of there. Porter the direct snap, and a touchdown for the Wildcats. So offensive coordinator for Northwestern, Zach Lujan, getting creative with the direct snap. It is 14-0.
By David Brown, Tim McGarrigle. And the Cat defense.
Short prep for Northwestern.
Kick.
Short kick. Here's Cooper. Cooper
Ball's out.
Get past the ball, comes out at the end of that return, and Northwestern says they have it. And they've got it. Up 14-0 with the ball back. Walters on top of it.
It came out earlier this time. Damon Walters, the Bolingbrook native, all over it. Just wrist below elbow, poor ball security. Great job forcing that out by 57 Mets.
Leading by 2 touchdowns. Best field position of the night. And Lausch got drilled. That's an incomplete pass. Jordan Phillips on the defensive side. Northwestern has held the ball for almost double the time as Maryland. Porter out to the edge. through one tackle and not the next one from Hippolyte. So that could make things dicey.
They have a ton of confidence in Luke Akers. Four-man rush.
On third down. He's flushed out. And Lausch is angled out by Wheatland.
From Caleb Wheatland.
Well, Luke Akers has been the long-range guy for Northwestern. He's the starter tonight. Luke Akers getting ready to send it to him. And Cooper that was going back through the end zone, and another special teams play that goes the Cats' way. It took a Wildcats bounce, never cleared the goal line. That being a tougher read.
Or something. Yeah, no. Got to get there, get under it, get set, and make the decision.
Throw long field for Billy Edwards, and he fires a strike to Ty Felton. And that gets them out of the shadow of their own end zone to the first down. He has over 100 more yards than anybody else in the Big Ten. To his running mate, Caden Prather. And the top two guys getting involved right away on this drive. Big play waiting to happen, isn't he?
Yes.
Caden Prather. 2nd and 2. Over the middle, 3 straight completions, and a pop taken by Preston Howard for a first down. Play action, Edwards following Ray. Felton the motion man. He gets it on the swing out to the flat. Made a man miss and almost broke it. First down, Ty Felton. In the Big Ten on his own team. Having a heck of a year. Big Ten leader with 2 catches on this drive. A shot for Edwards, and it's broken up. Theron Johnson, step for step.
We'll fight again.
Stream back in the hands of Felton. Heavily targeted on this drive. And slippery into the second level first down. Turned 2 yards into 12 yards. And a fresh set. Nolan Ray almost got to the edge. He's in there with Hemby on second down. Play fake to Hemby, stream to Hemby. And he rides the back with Jalen Pate behind him to bring up third down. 3rd and 2. Quick set, quick throw, caught by Prather in traffic.
Unbalanced look here. You got the tight end and all 3 wideouts in the game up top. Oh, they're a big guy personally, sorry. Big guy.
Edwards protected. Now running out of there, and that's knocked away. They've almost doubled their total plays on this drive alone. This is the 12th play. Edwards wants an end zone shot. He has Felton, and it's knocked away. Well done by Fussell to set up third down. Pressure in his face. Back to the end zone, and that's knocked down.
That's cheating.
And a flag's out.
Pass interference.
Carmine Bastone is back in there tonight, playing his first game of the year after an injury. But it's 1st and goal. Hemby grinding. He's stuck. And he's not getting any further. Will the 14th play of the drive be the first points of the night?
David Braun showing his burst running down the sideline. Using the timeout.
And Hemby searching for the goal line. Did he get there? He did not. A nose of the football away, and it's 3rd and goal.
Just a surge by the right side of that Northwestern front. Turns him back, and we'll take a look as Mac Uline 37 and others finish him. It does not look like that across the play. Going fast.
Push formation. Edwards into the scrum. Northwestern saying he's short. What do the officials say?
They're grading the cross.
They say he's short.
They're saying short.
It is 4th down.
Overlaps. Take a look here. And there's a lot of black jerseys and black pants.
Same formation, same call. Is he there this time?
Edwards Jr. carry.
Edwards is in for a touchdown. So right out of the Philadelphia Eagles playbook. The first touchdown of the night for the Maryland Terps. And Billy Edwards, the first on the board. Wide receiver, heavily featured on that last drive. You mentioned it briefly there. Hired him to cook for him his Valentine's Day day. That's how good shot. Oh, wow. Huge collision on the kickoff.
Hyman get that ball up high and tight. Wisłowski bringing the heat.
Well, Jack Lausch and the offense back out there for Northwestern and going nowhere on the first play of the drive. Avery. Lausch out quickly, underneath complete. Henning looking for a block, and he submarines ahead close to the first down right before halftime. Cam Porter bouncing to the edge, nowhere to go. Kellen Wyatt. Mike Loxley, keep praise on him this week, saying he's their biggest dirty work player. Well, it's Billy Edwards' turn. Right before the half, and Felton with a rare drop. So second down. Edwards stepping up, and Pate runs him down. But first, got to hit this third down. On 3rd and 7. Edwards incomplete. McPherson away with it. And it's a good one. Will it take a friendly bounce? Yes, it will.
You got to get there, and they've done it.
Jack Lausch on the move. King Basote brings him down. Lausch pulls it out and throws it behind Henning. That's incomplete.
Pass. Yep.
Oh, it's incomplete.
Inside, put on the ground.
Komolafe swarms.
With Boise State's Ashton Jeanty.
Akers to punt it away. Wisłowski backpedaling and returnable through the first tackle, not through the second. Well, plus territory for Billy Edwards and Maryland.
Man rush.
You've got Edwards protected. He takes a shot, and it was almost picked. Quick look to the flat, over the middle, Howard catch. And first down, so inching toward field goal range here.
Go back to old school college rules. They're going to clock it here. Nice work, so getting the first down under 2 minutes. Got time here to work the entire field as long as it's first down, to time to get up and clock it again if they want to.
Edwards a clean pocket again, back shoulder ball incomplete. So Maryland has to get out of bounds to stop the clock. And Edwards incomplete. And a one-score game before halftime. Jack House on the way. It is no good. Way off to the right.
Billy Edwards forced some in there. He's got to count on his guys, Preston Howard and Caden Prather, one-on-one here in the second half.
But Northwestern got the ball first, so Maryland gets the ball first to start the second half. Here we go. Third Big Ten game both ways. And it'll be Billy Edwards out first for Maryland, trying to improve on that 50% completion percentage. Edge pressure being shown. Turner didn't come. And Hemby runs right into the teeth of the Northwestern front for 3 yards to open up the second half, which was the second highest total since David Braun has been the head coach, now in year 2. And Hemby straight ahead. And he carries the pile ahead for a first down. That was in the guy standing next to him, first career start, Billy Edwards, who has his first completion of the half. It's Ty Felton. It's a first down for Maryland. Big Ten's leading receiver has back-to-back catches. Theron Johnson
can be with the tight end and the linebacker. This is a change up here for Northwestern.
Hemby running between the tackles again. That's why Robert Fitzgerald, who's down at the bottom side of the screen at safety, has been in the last 2 drives. He swung out to the flat, and that is blown up.
Hard to take off 37-34.
On third down. To the edge for Prather. If they can draw him off, they would have the first down. 4th and 3. Just a true snap. Over the middle, knocked out. Incomplete. Theron Johnson gets the ball back for the Wildcats. And he gets the ball back for Northwestern after Maryland took the ball first out of halftime. Flag out.
There's a flag on the play.
False start. Offense, number 71.
Play action. It's complete for a short gain. He had to go back to the original line of scrimmage after the Rather penalty on the false start. Lausch retreating. Has another one complete. Thomas Gordon, his tight end, immediately wrapped up. After 6 yards, Levain Scruggs brings up their down.
Watch Hippolyte right here is going to be the unblocked rusher right in Lausch's face. Great job retreating. That is a really natural play right there from Jack Lausch. Try to create some space. He knows that guy is unblocked. Well done, young Jack.
Third down.
Showing his zero pressure coming.
It's picked up. Lausch, deep ball. He dropped it in, but it's incomplete. Down the chute for Henning. And they almost had another big hitter, but it's fourth down.
For Jack Lausch, A+ throw. Watch this. Right in the wickets of A.J. Henning. Glenn Miller doing just enough to disrupt him, but that is a big-time throw by the inexperienced Jack Lausch. Under pressure, a zero blitz on that third down.
Mark, before tonight, we have not seen him throw a deep ball like he has.
No, he's been different tonight. Just a bunch of one-on-one routes, and like that right there, that's one-on-one, no help, zero blitz, dime.
Enough coverage there for Maryland to get the ball back. Oh, good punt from Akers. Coverage down there. Walters lets it roll. And he said Ty Felton would have started on that team. That's how talented Big Ten's leading wide receiver is. He was in motion, and that is stuffed in the backfield. U-line is right there, and a safety, maybe. No, they'll mark him at the inch-yard line.
1/2 yard line. It's second down.
Felton almost fell on the motion. Billy Edwards almost fell down on the exchange. He slipped on the paint, and Edwards just tripped up coming out from it. Good time for a great hard count.
As close as you can get to your own goal line. Hemby sneaks through. Room to breathe and a first down. They avoid the disaster. He is down. He is down. Whistle blew. They avoid disaster and then some.
And crease it. Hemby does a really nice job. Watch him squirt out this front side. Again, just a little line charge by that front. He sees it. Great job of protecting the ball with 2 hands. The king of the 75-yard touchdown run only gets 20 big ones right there.
Longest play of the night for the Maryland offense. Another fumble on the snap. And Hemby is roped down in the backfield with Theron Johnson there. Oh, boy. Guys tripping. Snap off target.
This is on Billy Edwards right here.
Yeah.
Looked like it was right in his hands. He looked at Josh Kaltenberger, 70, and said, gave him the international my bad signal right there.
Yeah, apologies to Kaltenberger. That was all on quarterback.
Yep.
So on 2nd and 16. Wide open space for Edwards. And he's tripped up shy of the first down.
Little Garth Brooks reference right there for you. A little wide open space there for Billy the Kid. Watch the twist game develop up front. Kaltenberger. Nice job widening that void in 3rd inches.
And Edwards out in front of some of his linemen with the first down.
Not messing around that time with the slant, the push tush, anything else. Billy Edwards Jr. just doing it. And again, looks like Mike Locksley is calling his plays, which is a change.
Josh Gaddis, the offensive coordinator, was on the field. He's gone back up to the booth this week. That's where he was last year. One of the changes among many on offense with the plan for Maryland. Ray to the edge, and he's run down. Michael Kilbane got to him to bring up second down.
Ray in there with Hemby, and watch Hemby trying to do the dirty work as a lead blocker. Very unselfish guy, and that time just got trucked by the defender, but gave a max effort. There's another play, 24-25 of the game at the same time. Talented and versatile.
And back-to-back carries for Ray following Hemby. And it's 3rd down and 2 for the Terps.
It's about the 3rd or 4th time Theron Johnson has been triggered. The corner blitz will mix in when there's a tight split to the boundary in certain formations. Sometimes it's automatic into their defense. And again, Theron Johnson, a physical guy. He's right here cheating, bluffing, playing around down here at the bottom.
Empty it out on 3rd down. Edwards probing and keeping his run alive with that offhand for a 1st down. Crawling, creeping his way.
Scratching and clawing, no doubt. Watch this spin move. Got to let that develop just a fraction sooner. That's one of the toughest things for a quarterback, is that hesitation. Let it develop, and then a spin cycle, like you said, keeping those other body parts off the ground and converting.
Still no passes on this drive. 8 plays, 8 runs. This drive started back at the half-yard line. There's a pass. There's a 1st down. Dylan Wade on the first pass of the drive makes it a positive play.
Dylan Wade in the spot of Preston Howard earlier. That's the matchup I was talking about earlier. Get him vertical. That time the safety 6, Robert Fitzgerald, finishes him.
The top pass catching tight end for Maryland with 17 yards and another fresh set for Billy Edwards. Ray following Wade. And he's down to the 35.
Nice job, just body blow run game right there. 3, that big run off his own goal line. Inside the 1 for Hemby. Just trying to wear at these guys and then hit him with the play action pass. Here comes Theron.
Play action. Edwards pumps. Running out of time. Away from McLaughlin and out of bounds. Turned it into a gain of 1. He had something he liked downfield, then said never mind.
Yeah, so Theron Johnson pressure. You see him come, and then they overlap it with basically a 3 deep, 3 under. They're trying to run a switch route to Prather. Fitzgerald gets away with one there as Prather goes, you can't do that, right? So should have been a holding, but just enough pressure up from that corner blitz by Theron Johnson into Edwards' mind on the timing. Hemby was running the wheel route part of the switch route down to the bottom, and Fitzgerald got away with it.
Drive started back at the half-yard line.
3-man
3rd down. 8-man coverage. It is caught. 1st down, Preston Howard, with all those guys dropping out for Northwestern.
Yep, it's drop 8, and Billy Edwards Jr. processes it. Gets off his guy, and that is a perfectly thrown ball to Preston Howard. The big target, 6'4", extended off him. He knows that's a great throw and a great physical finish from Howard.
The Terps had their hearts in their throats to start this drive. And now on the edge of the red zone. Trying to go 99 yards to make it a 3-point game. On 1st down. Edwards over the middle. It is Uline breaking it up. He was face to face with Wade, and it's 2nd down.
So that's linebacker on tight end. Watch him run. These guys are not your, neck roll Northwestern 42 37 right here under, and then Dylan Wade can take that to the middle of the field if he sees that shell. But man, that guy can run. Uline can run.
Well, Mac Uline grew up a Chicago Bears fan. He said Briggs in her locker were his guys, but Peanut Tillman was really his guy.
It showed right there.
So he was watching some DB tape. A stiff arm down the sideline. Prather with a nice run after his catch in the flat. And it's first down and goal, inches away from breaking it for 6.
Just a simple little hitch route. Get him out there on time. Now he squares up, has time and space, runs through the would-be tackle of Evan Smith.
That close.
Yep.
Turned 5-yard gain into a 21-yard hit. Caden Prather has him on the doorstep. And that is going nowhere. Anto Saka.
Tackled by Anto Saka.
Saka just explodes. He takes himself out of the game right there, grabbing his side. But wow, does he have some explosiveness to him? His get off, he's in the backfield. They weren't running like a zone read there. Otherwise, Billy Edwards Jr. would have walked into the end zone.
Homecoming game for Saka. He's from Baltimore, 45 minutes from here. Loyola Blakefield High School. Lots of friends here watched him make that play. Second down. Edwards bouncing outside. That is stonewalled. Robert Fitzgerald playing for the injured Devin Turner. Makes it third down.
Just whiff, and then watch six come out of the sky and fit inside out. Both linebackers, Uline and Mueller, in the backfield as well. That's one of those ones Dylan Wade goes, okay, I'm lead blocking on 3 different unblocked dudes. What do I do?
17th play of the drive. Third down and goal. Edwards to pass. Can he get it away? No! Sacks! Aiden Hubbard brings up fourth down. Somebody's getting that first one in the next 14:57. Cats on the ball, up a touchdown. Lausch complete underneath. Hyman got out of 2 tackles, but all that horizontal run led to a loss on the play, and here comes third down.
Michael Harris, 31, unblocked in the backfield again. Same thing they did before. Watch the linebacker trigger from depth right there, unaccounted for. Hyman runs through it. Glenn Miller escorts him out of bounds.
1-score game. Third down.
Showing a 3-man rush. They're likely to add one of these linebackers to it. Or, no, they're going to drop 8, force quarterback to play.
Russian 3. Lausch extending, planting the feed, and incomplete. Wanted Gordon. Perry Fisher in coverage. And the Terps get it back down a touchdown.
Ideal situation right here for defensive coordinator Brian Williams. Rush 3, drop 8, make Jack Lausch be a drop back passer under pressure. 20 Perry Fisher, maybe a little tug on Thomas Gordon, but not enough. That edge held up big time on both sides, not let him run free. Trey Reddick was to the boundary, trying to swing the momentum back in black.
ACDC, well done. Akers gets it away.
Oh, wow.
Good punt. Kozlowski,
oh, no.
He touched it, here come the Cats. And he got back on top of it.
Living dangerously.
Well, they've only gotten beat on it once, and that was into tight coverage. Theron Johnson on Prather breaking it up.
Theron Johnson is confident, man. He is fun to watch. Just rising to the challenge has been the single coverage. Wherever Ty Felton has been doubled, he's been Johnny on the spot. He's pressured, bringing the corner pressure, and affected the passer, affected multiple plays that way. He's been really good into the boundary.
He has improved his body language a ton over the last 3 weeks, according to David Braun. His play up ticking too. Ball is out of the sack. It was bestowed. It's returned into the end zone. Hubbard on top of it. Touchdown Wildcats.
Bastogne in the backfield. The motion, Ty Felton is open on the shallow, and Bastogne just flat beats Isaac Bunyan one-on-one. No doubt that ball is out. Now let's watch this part. He initially had firm control. They will definitely have to take a look at this.
Carmine Bastogne in his first game of the season had missed the rest with injury. Bastogne, Cam Porter, 2 of their 4 captains are in street clothes. Got Porter back last week, get Bastogne back this week.
Takes it to the house.
That combo down at the bottom side of the stream. Bastogne almost got there again. Flag comes out.
Offense, number 55. 10-yard penalty for the previous spot.
So Maryland moving backwards, 1st and 20. It's complete. Howard. And Mueller's right there to not let him get any further. 7-yard gain. 3 yards short of the original line of scrimmage.
We're so good at the pass rush, the line games up front. There were multiple guys in the backfield, again, all over Billy Edwards Jr. Good job getting it out.
Hubbard's coming. He moves the pocket. Edwards incomplete. You say Connor Bedard checked in on the defensive line? Is that what you just said? So a new set, and that's complete to Felton.
4-man rush.
Edwards, a strike over the middle. Hauled in by Smith, taking the contact.
Running out of the middle, running the middle, threaded between those two by Billy Edwards Jr.
Biggest play of the night for Maryland. Felton wrapped up. On 2nd down.
Single.
For the end zone and over the top. And he hit the pylon. Chasing 2 touchdowns. Huge 3rd down right here. Into the flat, juggled and incomplete for Prather.
Northwestern has played a ton of split safety zone. That's how they're lined up right now. They're going to jump down, disguise it, and play a single safety.
Bad snap. Edwards pointing on a 4th down to the end zone. Jump ball knocked away.
A lot of action, no execution. You know, tip your cap to Northwestern and their fervor tonight on defense. Going for the jugular right here.
Lausch has Kurtz. He's behind the secondary. In a Big Ten game. Race to the edge. Lyman out of bounds. Play action. Quick pop for Kurtz. Incomplete.
3rd and 5.
And it opens up in the middle, being closed fast. Place kicker, who would usually kick this 39-yarder, is not in the trip injured. Akers for a 3-score lead. And he's nails. A flight to a true road game. It's led to a win for Northwestern. Lead by 17 with Maryland.
You're going to earn the win tonight.
Completion to start the drive to Howard. And the ball comes out again. Walters has it. And Northwestern has it back. Braden Turner with his nose on the ball for Northwestern.
Looking like tough to win.
Lafe with the first carry of this drive. Same formula record-wise into the back half of this year. It opens up for Lafe. 1st down, Wildcats. And Northwestern in no hurry. Leading by 3 scores, they let the play clock go inside 5. Lafe bounce to the edge. Flag out as he races in for a touchdown. Flags down at the 15 where that run.
Holding. Offense, number 16.
Go back him up. And Cam Porter scored on defense. He's been more efficient with their touches on offense. It'll be 3rd down for the Wildcats. Director of Development, Jesse Marks for Northwestern. He's been the mastermind behind that. He was down there before the game.
3-man rush.
College Park. And Lausch to the end zone, knocked down. Looking for Kurtz. Hit from this distance over on the other side. And Akers 3 for 3. Big jet, big dudes, big pads, big food. And a little commute to get out to Los Angeles. Wisłowski around the edge. And he hurdles out across the 30. Leading the country in turnover margin. Plus 11 on the year for Maryland. They are minus 3 tonight. They've given it away 3 times and have not forced one. And that's knocked down. Kenny Soares in there again.
Soares is going, man. That almost became the 4th of the night. Threw it right to him. Brilliantly designed, dropping him out right underneath that little option route. Watch him punch out. He sees Edwards Jr. and elevates.
Second down for Billy Edwards. And that is picked off. A 4th turnover for the Northwestern defense. Damon Walters down the sideline. His first career interception. They had to flush some frustrated feelings after losing to Indiana real fast. And coming on the road, they've been able to do that. Cam Porter ahead for a yard. It's been a while for Billy Edwards since he had thrown one up for grabs.
That's why this is so shocking. In front of him multiple times. He's been that good, you know. Got away with a couple tip situations, which again happens to everybody. That one right there, just forcing it down 3 scores. Trying to put him back with 1 throw.
Northwestern's defense is held one of the most efficient passers in the country this year. Billy Edwards 72% to just above 50% on the game. He's 22 of 40, including that pick. There's Porter through the wash, pounded off a hit, first down. 2 weeks removed from injury. And Jake Arthurs streaking to the edge. Arthurs with a reach for a touchdown. His first touchdown in 3 years. Jake Arthurs.
For his first career touch.
Yeah, first since 2021 against Ohio.
That's right.
You've got, usually it's a 24-hour rule. You hear coaches say that all the time. He gave his team a 12-hour rule with that loss last week because they had to.
The inexperienced quarterback play and a big night.
Edwards for Felton. And they rally. Northwestern does. This wasn't only uncharted territory for the players after not losing 2 games in a row last year at Northwestern. David Braun never had that happen at North Dakota State on his way to 2 national championships, the FCS level, as the defensive coordinator. So that was partially advice he had to take himself. Caden Prather, first down, Maryland.
Yeah, those are kind of uncharted waters you love. You want to solve those problems. The first ever career back-to-back losses. If he could book that for the rest of his career, he'd take it.
It's a hard one to sustain, right?
Mm-hmm.
Edwards with pressure in his face. Soares almost got there, and it was knocked down. Tyler Gantz had the knockdown with Soares right in the face of Edwards again.
A line change here. Soares recharge things. Gantz, Soares on the spot.
Second down, Edwards. Out of the backfield for Ray. Got it to really fly in open space and tripped up on an ankle tackle with another first down.
So leak out that time by Nolan Ray again. A speedster just tripped up right there. Bowman rush.
Edwards sideline shot. Felton off his hands. If he caught it, probably 6.
Joe DeHaan was trying to do his best Damon Walters impression right there and pick it on that hole shot, but Edwards fit it through, and Ty Felton didn't think it was going to get through, got to him. deep to short outside in here right now for those guys. Don't need to trigger on that. Four-man rush.
Wobbler out to the perimeter, incomplete. Bowl wins and appearances.
Yeah, first time in school history for that. Got to keep that in mind. Nice awareness.
Edwards to Prather, first down. And well-deserved optimism for the program. Coming in after those 3 straight years, especially with how Billy Edwards is. Rutgers has only 1 loss. Iowa and Penn State to close it out. That is a real tough go.
We talked to David Braun, both said we wanted to be around 50 plays and dictate this. I guarantee they didn't anticipate this time. The ball's out again.
That ball is out. Northwestern, another recovery. Braden Bruss running the other way. A 5th takeaway of the night goes out toward midfield. That play was blown dead.
We never had, again, that first element. It's going to be an incomplete pass.
Further discussion, the ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. It's 4th down.
In a situation you're 0-2, who wants to play more? Who wants to be here?
For the end zone, that's knocked out. He competed for the starting job last year that went to Ben Bryant. With Lausch done.
The right reasons.
It'll be kneel down time for Olinsky. Really amazing, right? We had a chance to visit with Jack Lausch yesterday. Doubled and tripled down on our question of, were you broken confidence-wise after throwing 29% against Washington? He said no. We were like, all right,
yeah,
let's check in with his coach and see what they think. Zach Luan said no. David Braun said no. Really incredible.
And didn't hesitate, number one, in a sincere way, and then backed it up. Had a reason. You know, remember Zach Luan is like, this is why. David Braun said a different set of this is why. You know, sometimes you have to talk yourself into that as a quarterback, and as a young quarterback, some of the hardest thing is to know when it's your fault and when it's not your fault. Very difficult as they trudge, and then explode for a 37-10 victory on the road.
Well, as he said, was necessary. David Braun and Northwestern, they're getting on the plane back to Evanston. 3-3 with their first Big Ten win.